Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we are going to be talking about a big trade that has happened. Jrue Holiday is going to the Portland Trailblazers. The Celtics are sending Jrue Holiday back to where they got him from. As remember, Jrue Holiday was traded from Milwaukee to Portland in the Damian Lillard deal, and then Portland, sent him to Boston for Robert Williams, and as well as Malcolm Brogdon. And so they got Brogdon, who obviously then this time last year, right on draft day, they traded Brogdon for Denny Avdia, who's been great for Portland. That Jrue Holiday, the original Jrue Holiday trade, was actually a really good trade for the Blazers, and the fact that they were able to ship Brogdon out to Washington and get Denny Avdia. Sure, they had to add some draft picks with Brogdon, but he was a part of that deal. And now they're getting Jrue Holiday back and sending Anthony Simons to the Boston Celtics. Honestly, I look at this trade, which is now the third big trade that we have seen before the NBA draft. Kevin Durant, Desmond Bane, and now Jrue Holiday for Anthony Simons. And Jalen Green was involved in one of those deals. We've seen some great players trade so far. And I look at this deal, and this is another deal I look at, that it is a win-win for both teams. Look, I think for Portland to get... by the way, I did not add that, also... Boston is getting 2 second-round picks with Anthony Simons. I think Portland to get rid of Anthony Simons and get Jrue Holiday is a great deal for them. Because, there's a reason I say this. Anthony Simons is going into the last year of his contract. I don't know if the Blazers really want to commit to Anthony Simons to a really big long-term deal when they have young guards like Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe. You might be asking, why are they trading for Jrue Holiday then? Well, they could experiment with Holiday coming off the bench, and also Holiday only has 3 years left of his deal. I think Simons has 1, and I think Simons would want a multi-year deal. We're talking about probably 4 or 5 year deal at least that Simons is going to want. And that's really into the future. I think Simons, if you would have re-signed him, would have been a 4 or 5 year deal, which is the next 5-6 years of him being locked up. Holiday's locked up the next 3 years. And who knows if he'll even be with Portland those full 3 seasons. So I do expect Portland to keep Holiday for this season. And I think Portland is going to be a team that tries to, be better next season. They made some improvements last season. The Denny Avdia trade helped them. Donovan Clingan adding him in helped them. And Jrue Holiday could be that piece that could help them, get a little bit better. And I think maybe there are some guys that, there are some really talented guys on this team for Portland. Sure, they've got DeAndre Ayton, they've got Holiday, they've got Avdia, and Robert Williams, who will see if they keep him. But they've got Scoot Henderson and Sharpe. But I don't know if I look at them as a team right now that can jump into a play-in. They were the 13 seed last year. I look at them as a team that maybe could jump up at the 12, 11 seed potentially. But this Western Conference is so hard. Like, this current team, honestly, in the Eastern Conference could be a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. But being in the Western Conference is so much harder. And I think right now I don't look at Portland as a team that is in that top 10. But I think one more big addition for Portland, they could get into that. I don't know. But I think adding in Jrue Holiday, the 2-time All-Star, 2-time NBA champion, a guy who has experience, and keeping him this time would be really good for Portland. Holiday this year averaged 11 points per game with 4 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game. From 3, shot 35%. 2023-24 season was a different season. It was a different story for Holiday, who averaged 12.5 points per game, being 6th in voting for Defensive Player of the Year, averaging 5 rebounds per game and 5 assists per game, and shooting 43% from 3. In the playoffs, he was great for Boston's championship run, as he averaged 10 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game, 1 steal per game, playing lockdown defense for the Celtics in the championship run. It's probably their best defender in the championship run. So I think I've been talking about this deal in the Portland aspect. When I talk about Anthony Simons going to Boston, I will look at the Boston aspect of this deal. But for Portland, I like this deal. And honestly, for Boston, I do as well. But I'll get into the deal more for Boston when I talk about Anthony Simons headed to Boston in this deal, which will be a separate video. Let me know your thoughts on the Portland Trailblazers trading for Jrue Holiday in the comment section. That's the video. Be enjoyed, and peace out.